So the teams had to play with nobody in the fucking stands. It was sanctioned. It was sanctioned by UEFA, whatever. No, but you know what? They did it. All the fans were once they heard something, and then because they can't control themselves. If they go net, if they don't sit, standing the whole game, I was there. What the fuck is wrong with these guys?
I think the Greeks are the only nation in soccer that still lights up flares. I should say just the Balkans.
Remember and now they're going to play Croatia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going
Greece
to
play Croatia soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Greece
November.
Greece is better than most of the teams in their division.
You know what else is a crazy debate? I got into an argument about it the other day. Literally got into an argument.
Which you'll probably lose knowing your track history.
Not true. You know what? We'll talk about that later. But things have started. But got into an argument about Games of Thrones and Ray Donovan. There's some guy named Jon Snow. I don't watch Game of Thrones. I don't know what this is.
That's mistake number one.
Okay. Well, you know what? I heard it's amazing.
It's the most viewed show in the world.
Yeah. But I just haven't started because it's like 7 seasons in.
It's weird because Mitch is actually the most useless person in the world.
But I've heard this whole thing about like this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
But I truly think that Ray Donovan might be able to take him.
See, it's funny. I can't criticize because I actually haven't seen Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan's badass show.
Yeah, man.
It is. Hey, see, my brother-in-law Mitch told me that too.
Yeah,
so I think that's one of the poll things you should do.
Ray Donovan
versus Jon
Snow. So
you're
saying, can what is it? Can Ray Donovan beat up Jon Snow? Does he get more girls than Jon Snow? Like, what's Ray Donovan like?
He can get more girls and he can beat up Jon Snow.
Because Jon Snow's probably going to bang
Jon Snow's body. Oh. That's what Ray Donovan does, right?
And that's how we start podcast number 3.
Yeah, 3.
3.
Yeah, let's not confuse it. It's not confusing, Mitch, because you've been referencing the archives, and no, it's not good. This is number 3.
This is number 3.
Okay.
So for those that have been listening for this small little interlude of who's stronger, Jon Snow or Ray Donovan, you probably heard a third voice.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dimitri and I have finally realized that you, the people, have spoken, and you wanted more. You didn't want more of us. You just wanted somebody else.
Yeah, so, please, God, like these guys need to stop talking. We need someone else.
So we went and we looked up, we looked down, we said, who can we bring to really jump into that next level?
And Mitch, and you even had a surprise for me.
I didn't want to tell you.
But why don't you let everyone know the work that you do behind the scenes and who's with us tonight?
I have an amazing array of people around me, and they said, Mitch, what you guys are missing? You guys are missing a guy that is an international superstar, a Canadian legend, a beautiful Greek man, Angelo Tsarouchas. I'm like, I can't get a hold of that guy. That's like saying
he's way out of our league.
Way out of our league.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's not way out of some other people's leagues, and they have graciously introduced us. Angelo, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. Guys, you're right about everything you just said. But every now and then you have to do some charity work. And no, I'm kidding. Happy to be here on your podcast. I'm in Edmonton doing shows, and through friends, I found out you guys, and I kind of invited myself onto your podcast.
It's kind of true, but hey,
you know what I said, because I love the idea of a podcast, and the fact that now here's what happened. I got your app, and I was trying to download it this afternoon.
Okay.
And to get on to the podcast. But at the hotel, I was having issues with the internet and stuff. So I did try to go on to that. But just the idea that you guys had this podcast in Calgary. And I'm like, yeah, I want to do your podcast. So I'm happy to be here.
Oh, well, we're happy to have you. Absolutely. Like you've totally raised the credit level of this room because, like I said, you're going to come to know Mitch and I don't even know why we even bother doing this together. Like, we don't like each other at all.
That makes a good podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Until we all agreed on everything.
But you've done so, for our viewers there, because, you'll come to know we're quite the global phenomenon as we've become. But you've done a lot of work. A lot of people know you as the comic, but you've done a lot of other stuff too. You've done even movies, right? Like you're living in LA right now, from understand?
That's right. So I heard the background is I'm from Montreal.
Okay.
I was raised in Ottawa, and I lived in Toronto, and I lived in London, England, and then as being Greeks, it's like I'm being like a Greek sailor. I live in Los Angeles now because that's the entertainment business. That's where you end up. But I'm on the road a lot, and so I travel a lot. And but it's very much still a big hockey fan, soccer fan. I'm still in touch with Canada.
Well, I see you repping the Montreal Canadiens.
That's my
so
team.
It's the team of choice.
Right. And I here's the thing, guys. I get into fights on Facebook because here's the deal. I'm an original Ottawa Senators season ticket holder.
Is that a real thing?
It's back in not from the 1927. From
Is Alexander
1993.
Daigle still playing on that team? Is he-
When I was there, hey, I know you guys are making jokes, but I think they just came here and smashed Alberta 6-0 and 6-1, right?
I may or may not have been at that
without
game.
Eric Carlson. So let's not go there.
He's got a point.
Yeah,
You're
let's
gonna have
move
another
on. You're
person
right.
to hate now, Dimitri. But the thing is this. No, so I supported the Senators because we wanted an NHL team in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
And I was good friends with Daniel Alfredson. I worked on his foundation every summer. And I got to know a lot of the Cyril Leader's a friend of mine who's president of the Ottawa Senators and all those guys. And it's funny because first and foremost, I'm a hockey fan. So even through my comedy now, my whole objective now, because we have that rivalry in Canada, Vancouver, now it's like, hey, can we win a fucking Stanley Cup in Canada? Because 1993 Montreal on a stick infraction, Jacques Demers did it on Marty McSorley. That's when the Kings should have won that game, but they, the Hartley came out and did this. And then I keep getting reminded by, and sad because it's the last Stanley Cup Canada saw.
Yeah, and especially last year when, there were very few Canadian teams that even made it. The year before, I believe we had 6. Last year, it's a
2
tough
years
go.
ago, none of them made it.
None of them.
Or,
made it.
see, that was what it was 2 years ago.
And then we had
it.
5.
Yeah.
And then of course, and it's funny because we're talking to Mitch about this. I was at game. It's weird. I was at Game 3, Toronto, Washington, and Washington had their hands full. And I don't like the Leafs. I hate them. But I'm going to tell you something. That team's for real. They got those 3 rookies, the Matthews and all these other guys. That team's for real. Like, I don't like the Leafs, but they got Babcock. Yeah. They got Lou Lamoriello. They got, what's his name from Detroit, Brendan Shanahan. Mm-hmm. You got some of the best minds in hockey. They clean slate. They didn't bring in any old guys. And the other team, that was Game 3, and Washington had a hell of a time getting past the Leafs.
The series was really close because if you notice, it was tit for tat, but every team at the beginning that was winning was either winning by a shutout, right, until the Capitals ended up opening it up. But, as sports fans, we're really short-sighted too because we don't give people a chance to let it grow. They just brought Babcock in, the ownership group and everyone.
And they were 2 years ahead of schedule. And
exactly.
The Capitals were first place overall in the NHL.
Yeah.
And I was at Game 5. Edmonton, Anaheim. My friend gave me tickets, and my brother-in-law is a huge Ducks fan. I can't stand.
Yeah, your brother-in-law is not.
You'd have a hard sell in Calgary.
And then here's the Oilers up 3-0. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, and all the Oiler fans, like I told you the other day, they're all upset and they're pissed. And they're. I said, "What do you want to do?" Because to me, as a hockey fan, that game was over. So we left. He goes, "Let's go. We'll beat the traffic." We came down the elevator. And as the elevator doors opened and we just walked out of the arena, the buzzer went off. And the Ducks scored a goal. I said, by the time we went from the building to the crosswalk, they scored the second one. By the time we got to the car, they'd scored the third one with 15 seconds. And all the Duck fans were going crazy. I couldn't stop laughing. But that's probably one of the biggest comebacks in playoff history. They scored 3 goals. Edmonton lost it because they either got overconfident. They smashed them 7-0 back in Edmonton the next game.
That's right.
But that game was their game. Yeah. And my brother-in-law was so upset. He was, "Don't tell anybody that we left." But I said the game was over. Like, they were dominated by McDavid and the Oilers. Dominated that game. Like the Ducks weren't even in it. And somehow, Corey Perry, now they say, I think it was goaltender interference in the last one.
Yeah, I believe it was.
And only this will happen in Canada, where people will talk. If you go to Toronto, they still talk about high stick and Gretzky did on Doug Gilmour. Like, they won't let it go. It was like 24 years ago. Remember when we got screwed? I mean, people don't remember their anniversaries or birthdays, but they remember the high stick Gretzky gave to Doug Gilmore.
Well, it is Doug Gilmore. Like I think my mom would have left my dad for Doug Gilmore.
Doug
at
Gilmore.
one
Back in the
point.
day.
Yeah. Dougie.
Dougie.
That's
Yeah,
what I.
great.
Dougie.
Now, one last thing, I just wanted to bring this up real. I Wikipedia'd you yesterday, just because even though I've met you and I got to know you a little bit, I felt like I gotta know the real you. So I Wikipedia'd you, right?
Okay.
Which of course is always.
Which is all bullshit.
Now,
right?
I don't know. It looks pretty legit here. Okay?
Yeah.
But now the thing is, now you've been in movies with Sylvester Stallone,
Yeah.
Robert De Niro,
Yep.
Cinderella Man, so Russell Crowe,
Right.
Colin Farrell with what is it, The Recruit?
The Recruit with Al
Now,
Pacino.
of all those, and I wanted to ask you a little bit about it. The one that caught me the most, and the one you have to explain yourself to me, Robin Tug. Robin Tug.
Yeah.
Like, let me ask you this:
Hold on,
A,
Mitch.
does your mom know that you did this movie? B, was it on a couch? Was there a tripod? Were you low on
It's
luck?
a great movie.
Yeah, was there a Czech guy whose face was blurred out? Just
No,
say,
the movie,
not
you don't-
promising you money at first, and
It
then
was a comedy written by Sulu. She's a Korean filmmaker.
I was going to say Captain Sulu. I'm like, that guy's
Sulu.
everywhere.
No, not that guy. And that film was selected by the Toronto Film Festival. And I played a guy named Larry. And it was about 3 women that worked at a rub and tug. One girl was from, I think, Thailand or something like that. And her visa was going to run out. And there are all these women. And Don McKellar played the manager. Is a great Canadian actor and director. And I play Larry, so I'm like the regular. The guy comes in every week. So I was like, I come in and it's a comedy, but it was also based, I think, loosely on a true story. And when I go into the shop, it's like I'm looking for a new girl. And he goes, I go, what do you got here? So I got new girls. And there's one, she was pretty, and the whole idea is that these girls would offer full service.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
A rub and tuck.
Because
But it
gas
turns
bars
out
don't do that anymore.
They don't do it.
No.
But what happens when I go in, I'm looking for full service, but she won't give it. So when I come out, I say to the manager, this girl offered me full service. And I said no, she's totally hot. Like that would never happen in real life. And she goes, he's lying. No. So I'm the snitch. I decide to call the cops on them.
Smart
So
move.
I'm the guy who's like that guy, because I think what happens, it was the opposite. You'd think they would offer it, and let's be honest, you see the girl and you're like, she offered you full service, and you say, I didn't, I just wanted a massage. Okay.
This you're right. This is a true story, and I think it was based out of Calgary. I think I know the character.
I
know the
think
character?
he's in our
Sounds very
community.
familiar.
Yeah,
He's that guy,
very
you know.
I think
familiar.
very familiar.
He's done well for himself, right? But I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
And what a great segue into thanks to Pete Zanis for the sponsorship of the coffees today.
Yes.
One of the first people to be able to send us money via the podcast.
We were running low on sponsorship,
Right.
Last week we talked, that's why we had to put the bet in. But now we got a whole $6 from Pete Zanis.
Thank you, Pete.
Yeah, absolutely. That bought these 3 coffees, and they're not small coffees.
Medium.
They're mediums.
We had just enough money for
Right,
mediums.
which is awesome, but no tip, right? No room
No,
for tip.
I had no
But
one.
thank
Right.
you, Pete Zeni, for our contributions. It's going to bring me into something else that we always touch on here, Angelo, as a guest, and talking about global, like Thailand. We report our growing metrics because we didn't. We thought this would just be something that Mitch and I did almost for fun, but it's become a global phenomenon.
Global.
I just want to tell you what's been happening in the past week here. Now, I keep these numbers from Mitch as well, right? So we like the element of surprise. Our Instagram following went from 52
Yeah.
to 80.
What?
That is a 50.
That's
That's what I'm talking about.
Our boys in the
we got
back
to
are
thank
right back us.
Jeff, Zach, and the
Jeff
team
and
at
the
Alchemy
Zach,
Studios.
exactly.
That's a 54% increase.
Thank you for the numbers.
Facebook, get ready for this.
What?
We're at 131.
Okay.
That's a 54% increase from last week. Twitter, again, we're having a hard time. I got to figure this Twitter thing out,
Yeah,
but we're
yeah.
at 16 followers. That was,
I say we abolished
That's
Twitter.
not bad.
we had
That's
10
not bad?
last week.
That's not bad.
We had 16 this week.
That's not bad. I mean,
It's still a 60% increase, guys. It's still like the numbers are there, right? Like we can take this to almost major networks now. Podbean. So Angelo, this is the app that you were saying that you were trying to download. That's
Right.
the
That one, right.
podcast app. We went from 4 followers last week to 18 followers on Podbean as it stands right now, which is a 350% increase. We have been downloaded in countries like the United States, Ireland, And are you ready for this? You guys ready?
Okay.
The Maldives.
They're following us?
We have a download in the Maldives.
Maldives.
So I took it upon myself to learn a little Diveli, as they call it. That's the local language. And I just want to say Rateti, or that's to my friends, Bahot Shukriya, which is thank you. And yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that just, what's the population of the Baltic? Did you?
I know it's a destination spot. It's like the Indian Bora Bora, if you will, right? A lot of honeymoons, a lot of fucking going on there.
A lot of humping.
Tons. That's all they do.
That's all they do there?
If you don't fish, you're
very
fucking.
exotic.
You're exotic.
Yeah. Have you been to the Maldives, Angela?
I can't. I've been to a lot of places. I can't say I've been there. No.
I think that's where we do our next podcast.
I think we're going to send you there.
Maldives.
It sounds like they're
Maldives.
loving us and they're going to love you after
We're
this.
going to go.
This is big.
I want to bring up something special because without our fans, we're nothing. I just want to congratulate at our Twitter follower at DB Lemix. He was in North Carolina, and this weekend he played in a golf tournament where he won a plaque and a golden eagle. And we're going to post his picture.
We are?
That's DB Lemix in North Carolina.
Can I talk to you over here for a second?
What happened?
I'm just like, we're just doing things because we want to do things now? Or
Well, I just wanted to give a
I
shout
just
out.
thought, we can just.
I know we got a program,
You're
but
popping a lot of things on me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Mitch,
It's fine. I mean, it's fine. He's a friend of yours, you said?
Yeah.
If he's a friend of yours,
I just
want to get to know the guy.
I'm just saying, he's also a fan.
All right. Well,
You want to do this here?
No, I don't.
You're embarrassing us in front of the guests. Shut up.
Okay, all right, fine, whatever, man.
I want to bring something else up really quickly.
Surprise! Well, anything else?
Surprise! Yeah, Dimitri's still talking. It's crazy, Angela. I'm so glad me and you are going to be doing this podcast moving forward. This guy's ridiculous.
Nice.
Anyways, Mitch, I think the floors need to be swept outside or something like that. We had a poll this past week. Now, Angela, did you see the poll, or do you know about the poll that we do?
I saw part of that. Is this to do with the goalies?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
So we had a poll. It was, who would you rather have as your NHL goaltender? August Ames, youth.
Your pick.
My pick, August Ames, yes, versus Nina Hartley, experience.
My pick.
Your pick. That's right. And it was really, really close. So August Ames jumped out to a huge lead, like 73%. And then what happened was it came down to 50-50. And Zach, I know you voted in it. What did you vote for, Zach?
What a creep.
He voted August Ames. Did you get to vote, Angelo?
I know.
I didn't get the vote.
Okay, now, if you did get to vote, who would you vote for before I
This
reveal?
could be the tiebreaker.
Well, this could be
It
the
could
tiebreaker.
be the tiebreaker, actually.
Well, August Ames is a good goalie. But Nina Hartley. I mean, if you had to take who's taking more shots, I'd have to go with Nina Hartley.
That's a good point.
Who do you want backstopping you?
That's-
you want exactly.
Yeah.
Overall speaking, I think it's an interesting comparison. But I think at the end of the day, I have to go with Nina Hartley on this one.
So this might have actually swayed the result. And I'll let you guys decide. Angela, I'll let you decide this one. The final tally vote before Angela's vote was 55%
Yeah.
for August Ames.
55%.
But now we have Angelo's vote.
That's big. And
Does
he's a
that
guest.
bring it to 50-50?
That brings it to 56. Not 50.
Because he voted Nina Hartley.
Exactly.
So does that bring it back down to a tie? Angela, what do you think?
I don't know.
I think Angelo's vote carries longer. It carries bigger to the point where it's now 51-49 in favor of us.
I think maybe you're right. Because he's voting on behalf of a lot of people.
Who would you want to hang out with after that game? Nina or August?
I got to be honest with you. I would want August as my goaltender, but I would want to hang out with Nina Hartley.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there you
Yeah,
go.
I just
There you
think
go.
she's someone that I could
So you
come
basically
to for...
backtracked yourself, and so
No, I said I'd have a conversation with Nina Hartley. But what I would do is pick August Ames. I go for youth, right? Because I'm thinking long-term franchise.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Well, I think we won the vote. I think Angelo, thank you very much. Angelo,
I hope
pushed
I
it
didn't
over to
cause
the
any
top.
friction.
Not at all. Not at all. I think it was I think overall, I think Nina Hartley, fair and square. Let's go with the legend. The legends always win. You gotta have a little respect for the legends.
Absolutely.
The amount
absolutely.
of, like Angelo alluded to,
Official
the
winner.
amount of shots that she's taken, the amount of work that lady's put in. Come on,
Yeah, what would be like the motivational speech that you give a goaltender like that? You know, like in the dressing room, it's third period, you're down 3-0. Like what happened with like the Ducks, and you know, it's like, look, Nina, I know you've been carrying the load of the team on your shoulders.
Pardon the pun.
Literally.
And, you know, like you know, but you can't let anything get inside you. You know, like what do you say to these people? Angela, like what would be your pep talk?
You just said it. You don't have to say nothing else. That's it. You can't take the load of the team inside you. It's I think Dimitri, you're a poet, and you don't realize how funny you guys are. I think it's the jokes just write themselves. So I mean, to me, I've met Nina Hartley. She's come to my shows in Vegas. With Rebecca Bardot. They've been at my shows, so that's why. It's like. But yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. But I mean, I think the jokes are funny, and if they're listening to this, they'll probably laugh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like
You've
comics.
actually, she's been to your shows?
Yeah, she came in Vegas, as the Tropicana, about 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And she came with Rebecca Bardot, and there's another one, I can't remember her name, and they all came to the shows. And they came up afterwards. And you know somebody, but you can't really place where you know them from.
It's usually the top down.
Yeah, and I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, where do I know these girls from? They're all attractive. And then they were talking, hey, we're talking, you're funny, this and that. They came in, and then it dawned on me, that's Nina Hartley. And Rebecca Bardot was the other, her friend, and there's another one. There was like blonde brunette, and Nina's kind of dirty blonde. And they're legends.
Do you get a lot of porn stars that come to your shows, all jokes aside?
It depends, because they do porn karaoke at Dimples in Burbank on Tuesday nights. So all these porn stars go and do karaoke at this place called Dimples in Burbank.
And then I believe after that they do bukkake.
And maybe bukkake comes after that.
Yes.
So they do that. And then in Vegas, well, you never know who's going to come to the show. You know, so
This is unbelievable.
we did when I did my taping at the El Rey Theater, Rocco Siffredi, and the guy, is it John West? Randy West, Rocco Siffredi, and the
Dimitri
other
would know
Peter
100%.
North, who are friends with Russell Peters, who's my best friend, and they were there. They're buddies. So, but it's weird. Like I said, porn stars are funny because when you meet them, you kind of think you know them, and you're like, where the fuck do I know them from? And then later, it's like the guy goes, you know who that was, right? No. And I was like, it was Rocco Siffredi. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize him without his thermos out. So
I may or may not have watched his Netflix special. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's
Bro.
This is gonna get
I actually want to stay on the porn topic. You know me, right? And my in-laws and my wife listen to this, but cat's out of the bag.
surprise.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
surprise.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how to really segue that into how we can start this conversation, but I'll try my best. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, here in Calgary, and I don't like to talk too much local, but yesterday we had the election. Election, not a big deal. We're not going to talk about, obviously, who won and who cares. The reason I'm bringing it up, Angelo, is because there was a big debate, and the current mayor, who won again yesterday, is kind of, I wouldn't say he's opposed to the Calgary Flames and building a new stadium.
I saw something about this.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've seen it in the local news the last couple of days. You were obviously here. But now I'm just curious, does the word, how does this sound? La Flamme de Montreal or La Flamme de Quebec. Does that go? Because I have a feeling, I don't think the Flames are going to be here much longer, Angelo. And I'm wondering, can Toronto or can Ontario carry an extra team?
Well, I think Quebec can. They have the arena now.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, Calgary Flames aren't going anywhere. This is one of the richest cities in Canada, if not the world. And I mean, here's the deal in Alberta. It's all politics. And I saw that Malacca, whatever his name is, or Nened, something, I was watching him.
Nenshi.
Yeah. And I mean, they seem to like him. And there's obviously a paradigm shift. What's happened now, I think, in Alberta, you got that brand new arena in Edmonton, the Rogers Place. Yeah. Or center, whatever they call it. And it's phenomenal. 98% of the funds came from the city.
Yeah.
So I think now it's the owners, obviously, of the Flames are going to turn around and say, look, I think they pledged X amount of dollars, and they want the ownership to put in this much money. But they're looking at it from a benefit to the city, jobs it creates. Now, this is hard because in the States, there are cities that will cut social programs to build new stadiums for NFL teams. So there's a fine line, and this is Canada. So a lot of people will make the argument and say, how important is it to build a hockey arena as opposed to maybe supporting local programs, social programs that help people in the city in any type of aspect, which is a good argument. But at the same time, you see cities like Baltimore that cut their street, expenditures to build that new stadium for the Ravens.
Right.
And it was a whole shitstorm there about it. And look in LA, they built now. We had no NFL teams, now we got two. We got the Rams and the Chargers.
Exactly.
It's like a Dodge dealership moved into LA, and we got Rams and Dodgers now, and or Chargers. And the thing is that the guy though that owns the Rams, all the money's coming out. All they asked the city was to build a link to the rail that they're doing, and they were debating over it because everybody cries poor. Yeah. I think hockey is instrumental in Canada, especially like in Calgary, because it defines the city. There's a team. This team has won a Stanley Cup. It's a pride factor. The whole world knows who the Calgary Flames are. And as soon as you hear, like, if I'm traveling, I see a guy wearing a Flames jersey or a Flames hat. Hey man, you're from Calgary. There's an immediate thing happening. So I think it's a debate now between, and it's a fine line. And I'm not saying this because people will get upset if you say, well, cut social programs. We're not saying that.
No, that's right.
But I think Canada it's like Greece here. They always cry poor, but people seem to find money for a frappe and a BMW. So I don't buy that argument. And I think especially in Calgary, the Saddle Dome is about over 30 years old now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's still a nice arena. It flooded at one point.
Yeah, that's right. So it's been renoed. It's been
renoed. But
but where they're missing a lot of stuff, Angelo, is they can't do concerts there. They're missing a lot of concerts.
It's money,
outside of entertainment. That's the owner. The owners right now are just saying, look, we know we can make more money. We want to make more money. They're kind of holding us a little bit hostage. And this whole political thing got a little out of hand. But I'm a big believer, and maybe it's just the entrepreneurial side of me and stuff like that. Do you want to go back to the negotiation table with a guy that you know doesn't like you? You know he's going to give you a hard time. Now he's just got his confidence up because he just won the election.
They voted him back in.
They voted him back in. So it's going to be a hard negotiating tool. So all I'm going to say is at the end of the day, I mean, look, Winnipeg lost their team. They got it back, right? And I think it's naive of us to think that it couldn't happen. It could. And I hope it's one of those things.
Well, the original Calgary Flames were the Atlanta Flames.
That's right.
And they came to Calgary.
That's right.
And then they put the Thrashers in Atlanta, and that became the Winnipeg Jets.
Right. It kind of moved around a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And then the Winnipeg Jets were and now Phoenix Coyotes, and the Quebec Nordique became the Colorado Avalanche, which left. That team left. You talk about fans that should be pissed as Quebec. Yeah. That team left and won 2 Stanley Cups immediately.
Exactly.
That's right.
With the same team.
Yeah.
And they had Patrick Roy. And I mean, the whole idea, like, it's politics and money. Bettman wants to keep teams that we have the new Vegas Golden Knights. Mm-hmm. And they built that brand new arena.
Yep.
And the Americans will put the money up for it. And in Vegas, and he wants to expand. Like, they're talking about Seattle. They're talking about Kansas City. Because Kansas City had a team in the 70s called the Scouts. Mm-hmm. And then now Quebec built a new arena. And the team that's not doing good is the Phoenix Coyotes.
Yeah. Well, actually, and I remember Kansas City when the Pittsburgh Penguins were, they had the threat of moving as well.
That's
Kansas
right.
City was the place that they were going to go to.
That's right.
Until Bettman and them, and they had worked out a deal with the city. I think what screwed everything over was Edmonton in a way, where now, because we're neighbors, the Flames ownership said, well, wait, hold on. Without getting too political, just what bothers me is that I don't think that the incumbent mayor really understands how important, and I think the fans, even just in the city, of how influential and important the Calgary Flames are. This is all we have in terms of really widespread entertainment.
Yeah, and the Stampeders, which has a big support system.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is owned by the
the CFL is so much more supported in Western Canada. Like, I lived in Ottawa for years now. The Red Blacks, the stupidest name ever for a team. How more racist can you get than the Red Blacks? What's your team called? I told my friend in LA, goes, are you kidding me? Fucking Red Blacks? Who named that team? I go, somebody smoking weed in Ottawa. But the thing is,
Which come July 1st, we're going to be
come
legal.
July
all the way.
1st, it's going to be legal. Thank you, Prime Minister. But at the same time, which I'm not opposed to, a little chamomile helps once in a while. But the truth of the matter is that when you think Western Canada, traditionally, you always think of Stampeders, Rough Riders. You think of the Blue Bombers, the Eskimos, the Lions. And I mean, there's such a tradition here sports-wise. I'm shocked. I think the mayor, because this came up a few months ago, he kind of pushed it to the side for the election. That's why you haven't heard much talk about it. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe the Flames, what they would have done in America, they would have put a propaganda machine up saying what's going to happen with the Flames, what's going to happen with the arena, and put this guy in the spot to make commitments. But you know, Canada, we're very complacent. You know, we're apathetic sometimes. We're like, we don't worry about things till it happens. And I think the Flames are a great organization, and I don't see them moving. But, you know, stupider things happen. Look what happened when Robert Ursay owned the Baltimore Colts. And he says, you know, you're not going to build me a stadium overnight. Remember, they were moving the team to Indianapolis, and the fans were crying. And, I mean, all this stuff that's going on. Look at the Raiders. They won't build them in a stadium.
Yep, that's right.
And the Raiders are kind of like the whores of the NFL. They went to LA, they went back, then they went. Now we're going to go to Vegas. We're building you a brand new stadium. And at the end of the day, what the Flames are saying, if there's a team, because let's face it, Quebec is salivating for an NHL team. I've been to games in the old Quebec Colisée. They go nuts, and they hate the Canadians, by the way. It's a battle of Quebec. It's just the same as Calgary and Edmonton.
Yeah.
And I think what happens here, if they think for a second, I think, and this is me saying this, Bettman, if he had to move a team out of Canada to put it in America, he'd do it in a heartbeat. He'll never say that. But fans are smart. They're like, yeah, if Seattle said we want a team, or Kansas City, well, Bettman would say, look, we've, he'll do the good cop, bad cop. We tried everything to keep the team in Calgary, but if the owners want to move it, we got a new arena with corporate boxes, and then you guys will be like, you know, you're going to have to, you still have the Hitmen here?
Yeah, we got the Roughnecks for lacrosse.
You'll be watching lacrosse, badminton, bowling.
We also have my team, which is the Division 7 WCHL Calgary Jokers.
Oh, right,
It's a small draw now.
It's a small draw now.
But we're gaining. We're gaining. We're at like 4 average attendance.
But you guys just got Jaromir Jagr, oldest player in the NHL.
Yeah.
The guy is like triple gold member. He's won Stanley Cups, World Championships, Olympics. And I mean, it's like, I think it was a good move, actually. The guy can still score.
I think it was a great move.
I think so too.
It actually brings me to, that's actually a good segue into one of our viewers actually tweeted us today.
Oh, yeah? What they say?
And this is from at DJan. At Mitch and Dimitri, what's the over-under on Yager sleeping with a girl we know in his first 6 months in YYC? Hashtag John plus 8 gate, hashtag Beachbody.
You know what? I think the odds are high. I think we're talking in the 75. Calgary's big, but it's not that big.
So does he get it before 6 months or after 6 months?
Oh, after.
Of a girl that
before,
one of us knows.
Before 6 months, and it's maybe somebody we're related to. I would even go that far.
Yeah, I think it'd be my cousin Pete, to be honest with you. Like, he'd at least touch the tip.
Yeah.
For real. This isn't a joke, actually. It's weird.
No, I actually 100%.
Is that Pete that would have bought us coffee?
No. It's another Pete.
Okay.
Standard procedure.
Sponsorship.
That's hilarious.
I'm going to lose that $6.
Yeah.
So, Angelo, what we do now, we're going to segue into NFL talk because we're big NFL fans, and I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I'm a huge Packer fan. Dimitri, by a weird chance, happens to also be a big Packer fan, so we do love the NFL. We talk about it.
You guys are having a hard time.
We ran into a small situation.
A small situation. Aaron Rodgers got injured. I was watching that game against the Vikings. I think the backup quarterback is not effective. Let me ask you guys a question now.
Sure.
As Packer fans. You're having a hard time. I saw the backup come up. He's okay, but he couldn't get the job done. Do the Packers make a call to Colin Kaepernick? Have you guys thought of that? The guy's he fits that system. He does. He's a running quarterback. He's effective. Now, This is opening a can of worms. Because somebody said to me, I wouldn't have thought of that. I go, he's now suing the NFL.
Yeah, that's right.
For wrongful dismissal because of the whole thing, taking the knee. We're not here to debate whether what they're doing is right or wrong. Right. Everybody has a right. I don't think, and I say this for Canada and America, because I live in America and I'm a Canadian, but I don't think we should ever disrespect the flag in either country. And that goes for Canada or America. You're an athlete. You're getting paid a lot of money. I think on your own recognizance, if you want to make a statement or if you want to make something, you should, of course, you're allowed to on your time. But if they're playing the national anthem of the country you're in, and I think kneeing down on that, I'm not saying and I'm not agreeing with Trump here. Yeah. At the same time, I'll give him credit on one thing. Before, either lock hands, knee before, knee after, not during the anthem. And that goes deep. And I think, and I say this in any country, these are athletes who make a lot of money. Now, he started this whole thing, and now no team wants him. But having said all that, the Green Bay Packers were looking really good. Aaron Rodgers is your messiah.
Yeah.
He's out for the year.
Well, we talk, and he masks a lot of issues that are on that team because he's such a prolific quarterback. There were talks even if the hit was illegal or whatnot. Hey, it's football. You want to get out of the pocket? Hey,
you're free game.
You're free game. I really don't care. Do they make a play for Kaepernick? It's tough because Kaepernick was like the bane of our existence.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, with the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, all the reason why.
However,
I was going to say that.
Is he a good quarterback in terms of generalship and understanding the game? Not so sure, but here's what I do know. He's athletic. He can run. He understands the read option, and he can throw.
And he can throw a mile a minute.
He has a cannon. And the one thing about Roger, because I think Rodgers throws the best ball in the NFL
Easily,
currently,
by far.
And a lot of the success of the Packers has been that just precise, rocket deep ball. So I say, you know what? You know who I want on the team?
Who's that?
And you're going to laugh. Because I challenge this guy every week to a fight, which Mitch thinks that he can beat me up, which I don't know where the fuck Mitch comes up with that nonsense.
Yeah, right.
But Tony Romo would be a great Green Bay Packer because that way I can stick it to all the Cowboy fans that Romo won his first Super Bowl wearing green and yellow.
I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to take Angelo's Kaepernick only because I'm saying business is business.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's the best option out there. Yeah, let's go grab him. However, I like the Romo thing, and I'll tell you why. He's a local boy. He's from Wisconsin.
He is from Wisconsin.
Grab him as a backup. Throw him in there, too.
Kaepernick
why not? Why can't we grab both?
We settled it. Kaepernick and Romo.
Done.
That's why we have these talks.
Well,
exactly.
Romo retired. He's an analyst.
Yeah.
The last year, I mean, that guy was so accident prone. He got hit so many times. But now this experiment with Dak Prescott, look at the Cowboys. Like last year they were untouchable. This year the Cowboys look like crap.
Yeah, they're not looking.
And it's not working. So
That's
now,
right.
Romo was laughing in his head. Like, everybody crapped on him. I always thought he was a bit overrated. I never said he was a bad quarterback. I just thought he got injured a lot.
Exactly with you
he
on
got
that.
injured
I
a
agree.
lot. I think he's a good quarterback. Now, you imagine, I like what Mitch just said. You're running a business. So, you're in the business to win football games. The tradition of the Packers goes back to Vince Lombardi and all that stuff. And there's so much pride in this community-owned team.
That's right.
Like, to me, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders are the Canadian version of the Green Bay Packers.
That's absolutely right.
They've got that
That's
community.
true.
They come from all over the province. Same in Wisconsin.
Small market.
But the Packers got to be thinking, we were riding a really good wave. Our star quarterback's out. So if you're the president or the people, the powers that be that make the decisions, the backup guy's backup. I mean, he knows he can go through the motions.
Yeah.
But I was watching him. He had opportunities. That one touchdown got called back. The guy kind of fell down. I mean, they got a field goal. But you need a guy like Kaepernick or Romo have that macho-ness to go into the game like we're going to win this.
Yeah, they are playmakers. They
And
definitely
you know
are
what?
playmakers.
I think if I was the Green Bay Packers, they may go another 1 or 2 games with the backup and whoever else they got. Mm-hmm. But if nothing's happening,
yeah.
the fans are going to start
agree.
breathing down their neck. Then all the team's going to be going, hey, man, what's going on? And then, you know what's funny? You could say Kaepernick's a malaka, Romo's accident prone. You lose 2-3 in a row.
Oh, yeah.
Then all of a sudden say, hey, man, we got to do something.
Yeah.
Either we got to get somebody very hard now. There's so many to get experienced quarterbacks. And this stride, was it game 6 now? 5-6? How have they played now?
They just played game 6.
Game
6.
Yeah. Week
So
7
they're
started.
still in a position where it's effective. They're not out of a playoff spot or nothing. Were they 3-2?
4-2.
4-2, yeah.
4-2. So realistically, I don't think the Vikings, they're good. I don't think they would have beaten. They wouldn't have beaten them had
They took advantage
Aaron
of
Rodgers,
a
yeah, of
situation.
course. Who wouldn't?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So now, with that being said, Angelo, what we do is each week we go against each other. And I hate to admit it, I'm down now. So Dimitri won again last week. Okay. So I'm down 3-1, and we tied last week because it's a long story. But so it's 3-1 and 3-1. You're up 3-1.
Yeah, because we tied.
Exactly.
Now, Mitch, before we get into the pick'em segment,
Yeah.
I just wanted, because we're friends.
Okay.
Okay, we really, really are. We banter, we do all this stuff, and I worry about you.
You should.
You usually lose the polls.
Yeah.
You are You're losing 3-1.
I'm 1-1. Yeah.
I really don't think that this is cut out for you. The whole pick'em.
My bookie would also
sports.
agree with. My bookie would disagree with you. Where I see where he
Like,
likes
you're a
me.
good customer, but you're a bad.
My bookie loves me. You want me to do better.
Yeah.
Continue.
So
Yeah.
I took it upon myself.
Sure.
Because as a friend to go on Indeed.ca.
Yeah.
And find some things that I think you'd be better suited for.
Okay.
Starting here. Right now, and these are all new ads, there is a retail sales associate at Chinook Center for Freedom Mobile. The position is available.
I don't. You know what? I hate cell phone coverages. Like, I don't understand the whole data thing.
Okay.
And honestly, like Greece this year, I think
Would you be willing to learn at all?
I think I'm like old enough now where I don't really want to learn too much.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So, hey, not a problem. That's I actually
What else
have,
you got? What
I
else
have
you
a few of them
This is
here.
interesting. Go on. Go ahead.
You can see, like, there's all these job
Yeah,
ads, but
just a
like,
couple,
I
just a
mean,
couple.
What you're really
You
qualified
know, who
for
can
is
use that coverage is the Montreal Alouettes. They need coverage.
Give me one more. Let me see.
I got a few more. So there's a janitorial worker. Now before you jump
go
into it, it's not conventional. It's for the Calgary Parking Authority. You need a valid Class 5 driver's license with no more than 6 demerits and no current.
Dude, I'm like literally on my brink. One more ticket. Like,
Are you
Angelo, when we
serious?
drive from here, yeah. One more.
I thought this was the winner.
We're gonna be taking a tow truck home. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep. Next.
The next one is a company called Latacor, data entry clerk. I know.
I'm listening. Go
Okay.
on. Yeah.
Other requirements will include a high rate of typing, 50 words per minute or faster, strong attention to details, excellent use of Microsoft Office 365 suite. What do you think?
All of it I could do, except the problem is I type with one finger. I'm a jabber.
Would you be
Middle finger?
one finger?
Okay, if they put you through a program to maybe learn how to type with the QWERTY system,
You know
would
what?
you do it?
Forward that to me.
Okay, I'll put it
I'm
on
not
the
saying
side.
no. I'm saying forward it to me.
Now, here's one that I saved the best for last.
Go ahead.
It was posted 19 days ago. So if you are
That
going to.
means it's still available.
It's still available, and you should, or they're still doing interviews, and you should probably jump on it. But it's a beer sales representative.
Okay.
It's a full-time position.
Liking it.
It's for the Phillips Brewing and Malting Company, and it's a required license or certification. Now, don't worry. If you probably have your pro serve, and I think with your background,
Right.
Because Greeks really, the fact that we have someone here who's a professional, actor, comedian, and celebrity is very rare in the Greek community because
Right.
everyone else just makes pizzas.
Yeah, seriously.
Although the Greeks still don't know what I do for a living.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
I completely
What
believe.
malaki is. What do you
Yeah, they just
I'm
don't
my
get it.
uncle in Montreal. When are you getting a job?
Does your
Where do you
mom?
go get a job? You're selling drunks.
Does your mom like just tell people that you
Mom knows. She gets it, right?
She gets
but all
it.
the mom understands it, but the Greeks, you tell them what you get paid for this. Yeah, who pays you? It's just I don't even tell them anymore. I just don't.
Do you make something up? Do you have a contingency job?
Sometimes I tell them that I'm a scout for movie locations.
I like
Oh,
that.
that's
pretty
good,
good.
actually.
Because if you
it
tell them, they look at you like you go telling jokes, and people pay you. Yeah, bullshit. And they just don't believe it, right? Because they have, we come from a background. People traditionally work the jobs, and I go, but that's what I do. I'm an actor, comedian, writer.
And you're very good at it too.
You're
Thank you,
fantastic.
but it's like there's no. Not with your own people. That's why I'm looking at all these jobs.
Well, I'll leave these for you too.
leave
if
these.
you're-
Leave
Andrew,
it
if
for
you're
me and
looking-
Angelo. We'll take a look after.
I'll put this
look
on the
at
side,
that.
Mitch. The data clerk entry. I'll put the beer sales representative.
We need a job where we can put cash in our pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll leave these
don't
here
want
too.
to.
I don't have to
Angelo,
work with my mom.
in
And she
case you're
takes
looking
it.
for something
Okay.
part time, and I really didn't.
So since you had a surprise for me, I have a surprise for you. Since
oh.
I'm down in the standings,
Okay.
I'm gonna do this. I'm bringing in my ringer. Angelo is going to make my picks for me this
Oh,
week, and that's how
that's
I will
good
be
or
back
not?
in this game.
I've been
Angelo-
listening to him. He knows his
Angelo-
football. You brought in a ringer.
I brought
You're
in a ringer.
Jerk. What
Hey
a
man,
jerk.
you got to do what you got to do to win. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Actually,
So-
I hope that Angelo does really good, and then our fans know that he's really good at picking, and you get fired. Angelo and I do the podcast.
Fair enough.
And then maybe
who's going to fire me? Like, you know what?
The
We're not going
people-
to get into this.
the people would
I've
fire
already
you.
asked you to come to the side and talk.
People, what is this, North Korea? The people will fire
It's,
you.
it's a-
we only celebrate my birthday.
I'll have you know that North Korea is a democratic republic as as per its name. Okay,
Absolutely.
I can't believe I just defended North Korea.
Now,
It's amazing. The guy that sings Gangnam Style runs that country. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
so Angelo, what we do is we do pick 'em straight
Okay.
up, no spreads, no nothing. You just
Okay.
got to pick it, okay?
You sure you want me to pick him, Mitch?
You are my ringer, my friend. I trust you, and I have a
gosh.
feeling.
I hope so.
I have a feeling something's big gonna happen. So I'll go.
Okay, as a guest, do
Yeah.
we, Angelo? Would you like to go first, or would you like to?
You know
go
what? That's
second?
not your.
I'll listen to you guys first, and I'll jump in.
I'll decide. Okay. Why don't you just sit there and just let me do this? Okay. Just stop. Enough with you. All right. All right. Chiefs at the Raiders. Angelo.
Okay, interesting. Chiefs at the Raiders, right?
Yep.
Raiders have been a little bit shaky in the quarterback spot. They were going. You know what? I have to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
I have to take the Chiefs on that one. It's a hard
Dimitri?
pick, but
Yeah, I gotta. Actually, the exact same reason. I got to take the Chiefs as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ravens at Vikings.
okay. The Vikings just beat your Packers. The Ravens have been. Is Flacco still quarterback?
Yep.
You know what? Everything's telling me to go for the Ravens. I have a feeling the momentum's now with the Vikings. I'll pick the Vikings.
I forgot to tell you the rule. Okay, that's my fault.
So there's a couple rules that we live by, and
What's that?
We hate anybody in our division.
Yeah,
but it's
basically.
okay. You know what?
Okay.
This is why I got the ringer
So
because he's making the logical choice. here.
It's funny because I actually agree with your pair. I think the momentum's on their side, and I'm a home field guy too.
Right.
But
Vikings look good, man.
they
I mean,
did.
not the Ravens are bad. That's a hard call to flip a coin.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens
Mm-hmm.
on this one, and I just think it's gonna be. I could be wrong. I don't think the game will blow up. I think it'd just be one of those one field goal at the end games, right? Just a toss up. So
Now, we got about 10, 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes left. So we're going to run through these because I do have one last question I want to ask Angelo before the
Yes,
before the
absolutely.
podcast.
Okay.
Jets at Dolphins. Dimitri.
well, if there's anything we learned from episode 2, clearly the O-line coach gave Jay Cutler a little bit of coke on his
Little bit.
way out, and they won. So guess
Absolutely.
what? I'm riding the Dolphins, baby.
Riding the Dolphins. And you know what? That whole team's going to get suspended because they're all on cocaine. Go,
They're all
Angelo.
fucking coked up. You know, the Jets came really close last week.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree and go with the Jets.
You're
on
my
that
boy.
one.
Good
Although
pick,
I've
Angelo.
never been a Jay Cutler
Good
fan.
pick,
I never
buddy.
I
liked
hate
him.
him to pieces.
I never
really
liked
do.
them in Chicago. Yeah, they got lucky, but I think I got to go with the Jets on that
You're
one.
my boy. That's why I love you. Cards
separate-
versus Rams.
Okay, I'm going to go with the Rams.
Rams.
That's my team. But the Cards are good, but the Rams have come out really good this year. Their running back,
Gurley.
very good. I think the Rams are going to win that one for sure.
Dimitri?
Clearly, the Peterson actually made a bit of a difference
Mm-hmm.
last week, but I'm going to take the Rams at home as well.
Cheater. Jags at the Colts.
I've been riding. Hold on, I've been riding the fucking Rams all season. You know it. I went
Yeah,
against
but-
them last week. It bit me in the ass.
Jags,
Giants and
Colts.
You know what? Giants are. I'll take the Colts.
Colts.
The Giants have been.
Oh, Jags. The Jaguars. Jaguars.
Jaguars
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Colts?
Yeah. Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Jaguar. That's my boy.
Jaguars. They're hot.
Got a little understanding.
I thought you said Giants.
No, it's okay. It's
Yeah, well,
okay.
apparently the Giants are beating the Broncos
Yeah,
now with no
who knows?
receivers.
Are
So,
they really?
oh man,
I know that was weird.
Oh my God, yeah. So was the parlay bet I put in that night too. It did not go Broncos over.
Jaguars are surprisingly really good this year.
I'm going to go with the Jags as well. Yeah.
Okay. Cowboys 49ers. Angelo.
I don't like the Cowboys, but
I knew I liked you.
I have to say the 49ers are not getting their crap. I have to go Cowboys.
Yeah, I know.
I make that pick to the Cowboys.
I got to agree too. The 49ers stink.
The Cowboys, having said that, the Cowboys are very inconsistent this year.
That's right.
That could be the game the Niners beat them, but I don't think so.
Seahawks at New York Giants.
Seahawks.
Yeah. Double that up.
Double that up?
I don't see the Giants.
No, me neither. That was a fluke, and it's over.
Russell Wilson and those guys are...
Saints, Packers at Packers. So New Orleans at Green Bay.
I know you guys are Packer fans.
All right. See, this is why I made them do it.
I got to pick the Saints. And the reason I'm saying that, you don't have Aaron Rodgers. And unless they rectify that problem at quarterback, I think it's you got Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just experience over a backup quarterback right now. Now, the Packers, I think, defensively are much better than the Saints. But when it comes to scoring, as soon as Rodgers left the game, they couldn't get their shit together. So I got to go Saints.
Yeah, it pains me. It pains me as a shareholder.
I'm gonna put this in the minutes of the shareholder meeting.
And
Put it in the shareholder meeting. But we're picking picks, right? We're
picking
Doesn't matter.
picks.
You're still
And
Packer fans.
Not the way I'm gonna write the letter up. Anyways.
I think I'd like to go with the Saints. Move on. Next question, Mitch.
Panthers at the Bears. Carolina at Chicago.
I'm going to say Carolina. Chicago looked good, but I like Carolina because I saw the last game they were playing, man. They moved the ball.
Yeah, they can move it.
And what's his name there? Cam Newton. There's a lot of, I think they're a good team.
They're coming back into form, but secretly they've been winning games, right? Mm-hmm. But you can see they just keep getting better and better. I agree, but you know what? I'm gonna go with anyone that's not Chicago. I'm going with the Panthers. I'll never bet Chicago.
Tampa Bay at Buffalo.
Ooh, that's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah. You got what's his name? Winston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
James Winston. Explosive quarterback, but the Bills beat the Patriots. You know what? Oh, Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
I like the Buffalo Bills defense,
Buffalo
but
Bills.
you know what?
That's a hard one, though, because Tampa Bay's good.
They're not bad.
And if that guy Winston steps up his game, he can demolish the other team. But depends on his... Are they playing in Buffalo or
in
Tampa?
In Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Just for separation, right? Because I know we're kind of... I'm gonna take the Buccaneers on this one.
You're an idiot.
That's not a bad... You're
call completely
either.
an idiot.
That's a hard one.
Tennessee, short week versus Cleveland Browns. Go ahead, Angelo.
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what you picked too.
Cardiac Kids and Brian Sipe. And that, I think Tennessee's going to win that game.
Tennessee.
Yeah, the Browns, they should just get LeBron James.
Just
put him at tight
end. Man.
You know, if you put LeBron James at tight end,
Have they won any
I bet he'd be
games?
successful.
Have they won any games this year, Cleveland?
Nope.
Have
they ever won a game?
But I'll tell you what, they will now.
They will.
Whoa! The Browns at home.
The Browns at home. I mean, Tennessee... That could be the upset. The two upsets we've talked about, I'm going to go with what I think is right, but I think the two upsets could be Tampa Bay and Cleveland.
I have a feeling with my shitty picks that I'm going to be in his next comedy act.
I have a feeling. Bengals at Steelers, Dimitri.
Bengals at Steelers?
Yeah.
Ooh, this is an interesting one because both are just very disappointing. This is a divisional game too. Mm-hmm. I got to go with the Steelers. I have to believe they'll win at home. The same reason with the firepower they have. I have to go with it.
Angelo?
Look, they barely beat Kansas City. Roethlisberger was I've always liked Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to pick the Bengals.
Oh, I like what you did
because I think it's what's his name, the quarterback?
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton. I mean, I like him. And Roethlisberger, I think what's happening on the Steelers, it seems to me defensively things are. I mean, they ended up because Kansas was off, but I'm gonna take Cincinnati in that game.
Three more games. Here we go. Broncos, Chargers.
Broncos, Chargers.
At Chargers, yeah.
At Chargers, okay. I'm going to take the Broncos bouncing back.
Broncos.
I'm going to say
Yeah.
the Chargers.
Beautiful. I
Because
like it.
the Broncos have always had a freaking problem with Rivers
That's
and
right.
the Chargers.
That's a
They
good-
always have.
That's not good.
They're not. They haven't started out good this year. But after what happened with the Broncos and with the Giants and stuff, I'm going to say the Chargers are gonna maybe by like a field goal.
I like it.
Okay.
Let's go. Falcons at New England. This is why they blew the lead last week. Guaranteed.
I don't think that the New England defense, if they're doing terrible this year, I'm gonna go the Falcons on the road.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't think the defense can stop them. And
Dimitri? Or Dimitri.
Okay,
Angelo,
so
sorry.
look, I was in an airplane, and when I saw the score leaving Fort Lauderdale for my gig, it was 28-3 for the Falcons in the third quarter. The guy next to me, Wi-Fi was going on and off. I was on American Airlines. We're about to land at LA. He goes, "What's the score?" I go, "You don't want to know." It was 28-26. And then when the Wi-Fi came back on, it said, "New England Patriots, Super Bowl champions." I think I like the Falcons, but that freaking Tom Brady, they counted him out. They're at home. I'm going to pick, I think, the New England Patriots.
That's the 5-star pick of the week.
I got to say Tom, because I just...
hold on, Angelo, did you hear what he just said? Right,
That's the 5-star.
He sprung that on last week. He's like 5-star pick of the week. How does that? You're in show business and in entertainment. How does that sound to you? Is that marketable or is it?
Sounds like I'm at a strip club in Leduc, Quebec. And here's your 5-star pick of the week, Angel.
Last game, Redskins at Eagles.
Who's taking? You're looking at me. You want
Yeah,
me to
yeah,
take
go
ours?
ahead, sure.
Redskins at Eagles. Ooh, this is an interesting one. Redskins at Eagles, but you know what? I'm going to take the Eagles at home. I actually didn't believe they'd be doing as good as they've been doing, and I'm gonna ride them.
Cousins is playing good for the Redskins.
Yeah.
But I think the machine's going with the Eagles. I got to agree with Dimitri. The Eagles. The Redskins, that's a rivalry, but I don't think the way the Eagles have been playing, they're at home. I don't think the Redskins are going to win that game.
All right, there's enough diversity here where I think Angelo has now got me back into the realm of wins.
We'll see.
Angelo, I like your pick. You know what? I'm not going to say I would have picked them all, but that's exactly it. It's a good thing I wouldn't have picked these all because lately I am not hitting anything at all. So
Yeah, and not just in sports, if you know what I'm saying.
well, hey. Well, you know, we're finishing up here. We're a couple of minutes away from finishing up for podcast number 4. But Angelo, I wanted to ask this question. So when we talk about locker room, we talk about things what do guys talk about in the locker room, what do girls talk about in the locker room, whatever the case may be. So when we kind of started off this podcast, we talked a little bit about Ray Donovan versus John Snow, right? But then other things started coming up. I started thinking, me and Dimitri got into it a little bit, and so you're in LA, you're seeing all the top. In fact, on the way here, his wife was telling him a story how she ran into Ashton Kutcher. Okay,
Really?
My daughter goes to a dance school in Studio City, and I was there last Thursday, and watched Channing Tatum with his daughter. It's this little thing they go to for dance. They're like little Zuzunaka. They're like 5, 6, and my daughter's in the class with them, and my wife tells me, "Oh yeah, by the way, she just calls me. It was in the car, Mitch," and she goes. I said, "Who's that cute little girl?" And it was Ashton Kutcher's daughter. As they walked in, and my daughter's like, "Oh, I'm prettier."
So my question now is this:
amazing.
we walk into a club. You're around the actors. You're around the celebrities now, and Tom Brady walks into a room, into a nightcllub. Tom Brady's there, and Ashton Kutcher's there. Who's getting the girl?
Yeah, who gets more action?
Who gets more
Tom
action?
Brady.
Tom Brady. You didn't even hesitate. He didn't even hesitate.
Tom Brady. Have you seen what Tom Brady smashed? He's married to Gisele Bündchen. He's done Britney Spears. He's done all these other. I mean, Tom Brady, 5-time Super Bowl quarterback. Hate this guy. He's married to Gisele Bündchen. The guy looks great. He's in great shape. What is he, 40 now?
Yeah.
40. Super Bowl quarterback. Ashton Kutcher, he looks like a crybaby. He makes him feel for him. He was with Demi Moore. He's got mother issues. You know, whatever. I mean, I'm not saying Ashton's a bad-looking guy. He's married to Mila Kunis. She's a hot piece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
let me
very funny.
ask you this. Since you answered it so quickly, it gives me one more second. Sure. Bon Jovi, Ashton Kutcher, and Tom Brady all go for the same girl.
Who's getting the girl?
Who's getting the girl?
That's interesting.
Not
Bon
so
Jovi is another. He's in a class of his own.
Yeah. See, look, the funny thing is, Jeff, the owner, looked like he was going to the bathroom, and he comes back in just after this play.
Yeah, he yelled. He's like,
That
Bon
guy's still
Jovi.
touring. I mean, that's look. Those first of all, you pick three guys that have no problem getting ass whenever they
Obviously,
want.
yeah. But we're seeing this is a competitive
Okay,
thing now.
but overall, then, who gets more ass? Is it the sports athletes or movie stars? Just as a whole, not even just specifics.
You know what? Good. Yeah, there. Little segue.
You can flip a coin on that one.
Really?
Really? Is that
that a poll
the
question
official
of the
Real
week?
Locker Room Talk poll question of the
I
week?
think so.
Brought to you by Angelo
You
Tsarouchas.
can flip a coin. I mean, yeah, because like now, especially with everything that's going on, sexual harassment.
You got a
and
smirk
everything.
on your face.
So we're being objective here.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, look, man, I go, if you're asking me between Ashton Kutcher, Tom Brady, and John Bon Jovi, it's if you know, I think at the end of the day, for the three, it would be still Tom Brady.
What do you think? What do
The
you
guy's
think?
a stud.
Just overall sports? Or
three.
out of those three?
Yeah.
Well, you know me, in episode 1, I think that Tom Brady is actually a bigger, sexier piece than his wife Giselle, which is awkward, right? But
It is
he
awkward.
actually has
It is
more,
weird that
she's
he's
hot.
brought it up quite a few
He has
times.
more to offer. I'm just saying, that's just me. So I would pick Tom Brady. But you know what? I got another one, actually, because you mentioned that you and Russ Peters are best friends.
Right.
Okay. Well, we're going to go in your world.
Sure.
Who gets more ass, you or Russell Peters? And I know you know the answer to the question.
Oh boy! You're asking the question because I have to be in the car
That
with him
might
after,
be-
so I don't want him to get mad at me. I'm so glad you didn't read my mind.
That
If
might
he's listening
be.
to this, look, man, Russell's a superstar. And in comparison, look, the honest answer is he's engaged, unmarried. But in the day when it was single,
Yeah.
I mean, definitely Russell. Not that I didn't. I'm not saying, and I'm being objective about this. The truth is, though, Russell has such international appeal. And for comedians, it's different from anything else. We make girls laugh. And when you make girls laugh, it doesn't matter what you look like. Girls laugh. If you make them laugh, man, they wanna.
Zach, are you listening to this? Not only are you handsome and you can play the guitar, you make those ladies laugh, my friend, and it's
You
lights
make them
out.
laugh
Oh,
because
buddy, you'll be
a lot
playing-
of comics. Well, for comics, it's not. You know, it's like I've been called Meatloaf. I've been called Mayor Tom Ford. Somebody thought I was Harvey Weinstein. It's not like, I look like Fred Flintstone or fucking Meatloaf.
I thought your hand was on my leg
Like
earlier
what
today.
But if you make girls laugh, it breaks that wall down. They come and approach you. But yeah, if you had to pick, I mean, with comics, especially, Russell has more appeal.
Yeah, but do the girls leave disappointed with Russell? Because you look like a guy who takes care of business.
think that-
Like when
No,
you catch
we were
the
in
fish-
Singapore,
When
we
he
were-
catches the fish, it's in the boat.
It's in the boat. That's right.
Russell looks like a catch and
I'll tell you a
release
funny
guy.
story. We were in Singapore, and there was this hot girl about 10, 15 years ago, and she was half Chinese and half Indian, and she was a doll, like gorgeous. And she came up, and we're all signing autographs after, and I was there, and she goes, "Hey, Russ, take pictures," and she hands me a little piece of paper, and it was her phone number.
Amazing.
And she was just call me after, and Russell was there, and his bodyguard Ray was there, and he goes, Ray goes, "Oh, did you mean to give that piece of paper to Russell?" She goes, No, I meant to give it to the Greek guy, Angelo. And Russell wouldn't let it go. He had 30 women. He goes, "Why would she give you the phone number?"
amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I go, "Dude, you get like 50 women." "Yeah, but that super hot one gave it to you."
That's
And she goes,
amazing.
"You're cute, Russell, but I like big Greek men."
That's it.
So she knows where it's at, right?
Apparently, we know where our next podcast is
Yeah,
at.
that's
I'm
right.
not
Yeah,
coming
so
home
that was
tonight.
funny, but that's an anomaly. So
Well,
funny.
that's all the time we have for this week. But Angelo, thank you so much for coming and being a
pleasure.
part of
This
it.
was a lot of fun. You guys are great, man. I wish you nothing but the best. This is a great podcast. You guys have a lot of fun. I was happy to just drop in and talk a bit with you guys.
You're a
Thanks
gentleman. You're awesome, and you have gigs all around.
Yeah.
You
You can go to funnygreek.com.
Okay.
If you're listening, funnygreek.com, Instagram or Twitter at Big Ange Comic, BIGANG Comic, funnygreek.com, and I always respond to things.
And what's your next show coming up?
I'm on the IG tour, so I'm doing all these shows around. I don't want to brag. I'm going to Medicine and Red Deer.
Holy shit!
I mean, that's rocking it. And then I'm going to be Vancouver, and then where I'm going to New York City. I'm doing a show in Bayside, Queens, New York, and then Denver with Russell Peters, and then I'm going to Montreal, Toronto, and all these other places. I just get in the plane and go.
Well, you tell Russell from us, we're not surprised that you got that piece of ass. We're not surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
And for the record, I got to say the best guy to be on the road with is Russell. He's a brother. There's nobody better than him. We have so much fun. But now, we got kids and
Fair enough.
we go to IHOP now. That's our
Now it's just over the pants hand jobs.
Yeah. It's just,
keeping it respectable. Well, Angelo, again, I want to thank you as well. Thanks for coming and doing this for us. I know you're in town, limited time, but we truly appreciate it. You're obviously more than welcome, and to come in and sit down with us. I had a blast.
Maybe we'll do it again next year.
Yeah, let's do it up.
We'll
Absolutely.
do catch up. We'll see. And you have to let me know about those picks.
I'll let you know. Don't you worry.
We'll post them on the pics. But until then, for the three of us, we're going to hit the showers.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.